Hello, my name is Morgan Soldan, and this is Module 8, Moral Compass. So we were asked to read and watch different videos about moral compasses. And the first video I watched stated that a moral compass is important to have as a leader, and it keeps you on track with your ethical principles. When you're a leader, you must have integrity, but also people must be able to trust you. And it's important as a leader not to break that trust. And so a moral compass will give you the guidelines of how you're going to react to certain situations, and it will give you the do's and don'ts of your own ethical and moral beliefs. And a compass leads you on the right path to making a decision. The second video was titled Having a Moral Compass, and a compass sets the direction of a leader's decision making. You should always put people first when you make a decision. A moral compass is a line in the sand. And I think this is a really awesome, it gave me a good visual. It's a line in the sand that you will not cross. So a moral compass gives you that line and says, I'm not going to break this line. This is my line of decision making, and it's a non-negotiable. Everything above the line is things that I will stand for, and I will make decisions based upon those guidelines. However, I will not cross that line of what's best for me, but also what's best for the school community as a whole. The article I read, it's called Encountering the Stranger, Hannah Arendt, and the Shortcomings of Empathy as a Moral Compass. And before reading this article, I had no idea that empathy and morals kind of combine together. So during the article, they determined that there's a close relationship between empathy and moral action. Empathy is a phrase that's hard to describe because it's different for every person. I may feel empathy different than my coworker, or I may feel empathy different than my family member. It's different for every person. And when making a decision, it's important that you judge what is right. And a moral decision is involved by making a decision that is empathetic, but it's also ethical. So you use your empathy and you use your ethics and make a decision using both. Concepts Unwrapped Moral Emotions. This video really helped me understand the complexities of a moral compass. So moral emotions are feelings and intuitions that play into our role of making ethical decisions. Most of the time when we make a moral decision, our judgment has already been made, according to McCollum School of Business. McCollum School of Business states that when you've made a decision, you already know what your decision is going to be before you even are aware of it. It's mostly based upon your emotions instead of your logic. Our self-conscious emotions like guilt, shame, and embarrassment motivate people to follow what society wants. And other emotions also help us follow what society wants, like contempt, anger, and disgust. Praising emotions also help us follow that cultural norm. And those praising emotions are gratitude, morale, or even moral elevation. Emotions usually point people to do the right thing, so that's encouraging. However, it's important as a leader to balance your emotions and your judgment when making a decision. Setting your moral compass true north. According to Mintz, it's important to set your compass always north. Setting your compass north will allow you to make the right decision and lead you on the right path when making a decision. When making a decision, your mind should be making it with integrity and the correct intent behind that decision. You should be thinking, what does the act I make impact others around me? The next article I read is The Search for a Moral Compass and a New Social Contract in the Context of Citizenship Education. This was sort of a different way of thinking. This is sort of a different way of thinking about a moral compass. Jones van der Walt explains that that your compass of morals should be developed and aligned with the intent to include others' moral beliefs and ethical backgrounds. Because of religious persecution or other things, migrants migrate to different parts of the world. And it's important to take those migrants' beliefs and your beliefs as a culture and work together to form one cultural belief. And it's important that your beliefs and religious backgrounds are intertwined, and that can help change society and increase these frameworks. They want you to teach this in education in a school setting. However, if you were to teach it, it would take 10 years before, or even more, before, if I was to teach it in kindergarten, it would take 15 years before it even made a difference in society. The moral compass, according to Orchard, it would be very hard to form a universal moral compass for everyone to follow. Orchard says this is hard because not everyone has the same background and religious beliefs. People must decide for themselves what is right and what is wrong. And individuals need to take account for when making decisions of their own personal ideologies or thinking. Our moral compass. A moral compass is a set of personal values that guides decision making, according to Wood. However, leaders fail to follow their moral compasses when making a decision. And I've kind of seen this in my building. There are 3 reasons why people, according to Wood, do not follow their moral compass. The first one is the leader believes that an ethical choice would be difficult and have side effects that the decision maker would not want to deal with. The second one is that the leader believes that their ethical choice is in conflict from what their organization or their board of education or their school district wants. And the third one is that they violate their values because the benefits they can get from making that decision is better for themselves. So they're kind of selfish and not selfless. It's a leader's job to analyze the consequences of making a decision. Making a decision and analyzing the consequences can help a leader make an ethical decision. So what is a moral compass, and why do you need one is the next article. A moral compass, according to Zitzman, provides you to make decisions with ethical clarity and understanding. Having a moral compass allows for a leader to be a ground in their identity and protect the greater good, increase self-confidence, be a role model, and foster healthy relationships. If a leader has a moral compass, it provides a foundational guide to support their decisions. Using a moral compass consistently will be extremely difficult and challenging. However, the rewards of having a moral compass outweighs the challenges that it presents. So here is my moral compass. I believe that you should always be true north, and the closer you get to the south, the less ethical or moral you are being. So at the very top, I have integrity, and I believe that it is important to have integrity and believe integrity is, I just believe integrity is super important, and that's my true north. Then as we go down, I have respect and compassion. I think it's important to have compassion for others when making a decision and looking at how does it impact those other people. It's also important to have respect for others and also respect for myself. It's important to understand that the decision I'm making impacts others, but it's also, I need to be respectful of what others believe and what others think. And my west is being fair. I think it's important to be fair when you're making a decision. And E is responsibility. It's your responsibility to make decisions and be responsible for the consequences of those decisions. And my south is selfishness. I do not want to be selfish when making a decision. Here are my references. And then here's my addendum. This assignment allowed for me to understand what a moral compass is and why it's important to have it to guide yourself and and conduct yourself. A moral compass provides a leader with a set of guidelines in the way that they will act and in the way they will make decisions. This assignment allowed for me to decide my compass of making decisions. My relevancy statement, this assignment improved my understanding of the benefits of having an ethical guide in the way that I will conduct myself. Creating a moral compass will provide me with a guide in the way I wish to conduct myself when making morally complex decisions. I will use my compass to ensure that I am making a decision that is ethical. This assignment also allowed me the opportunity to reflect upon decisions I've made in the past, and I've used my moral compass when I'm reflecting upon those decisions I made in the past. I used that moral compass and said, did I break that line in the sand, or was I on the right path? My personal reflection, it increased my understanding of moral decision making. It also allowed for me to reflect upon my values when making professional and personal decisions. This assignment will improve my leadership skills by providing me a marker of the best way to make a decision, and it also helped me increase my line in the sand that I will not cross as a decision maker. As a future leader, I will make lots of decisions, and it's my job to ensure that my decision follows my moral compass and is in the good of all of the stakeholders. Thank you very much.